Hi there, welcome back to Professor Snyder's, that's me, Music Biz News. I'm sure that you are familiar with the term money laundering. Money laundering is when criminals have cash that they earned illegally, like selling drugs or something like that, and they need to make it look like they earned it legally. This guy, Al Capone, was one of the biggest American criminals, is often credited with inventing and coining the term money laundering. The Prohibition era brought him an opportunity to legitimize proceeds from bootlegging and gambling, which he and his associates used. He used laundromats, thus the word laundering, that provided a plausible explanation for the significant cash flows, masking the illegal sources of his funds from bootlegging and that kind of stuff. And money laundering and the music industry have always been sort of tied together. Colombian criminals use music industry to launder money. The mob used to use jukeboxes and things like that to launder money. Spotify was revealed as a tool for money launderers and gangs. So that's money laundering, but you might not have heard of copyright laundering. When a creative work under copyright is copied by another party, who then replaces the original license with a different one, pretending to be the owners. This party then illegitimately distributes the work with the new license and makes the royalties. And at first glance, this might look to some of you like derivative works, which under copyright law is a work based upon one or more pre-existing work, such as a translation, musical arrangement, dramatization, fictionalization, motion picture version, sound recording, art reproduction, abridgment, condensation, or any other form in which a work may be recast, transformed, or adapted. The creation must contain original, copyrightable material contributed by the author of the derivative work. Trivial alterations, such as just changing a few words or colors, doesn't qualify. The new material must be substantial and original in itself. And examples would be a movie adaptation of a novel or translation of a book into another language. Musical arrangements of an existing composition would all be derivative works. And legally creating a derivative work means respecting the rights of the original copyright holder while adding your own original substantial contributions. You must not only get permission from the copyright owner, you need to obtain a written license or contract granting you permission to use the original work as a basis for your derivative. And when your work is completed, you can register it for copyright protection, but only for your original contributions. The registration must specify which material is new and distinct from the original. You can copyright that. And also to list the original copyrighted material that was used. So that leads us to copyright laundering. Copyright laundering is a little different. It's the transformation of copyrighted material, for example, by means of artificial intelligence, to produce a derivative work that cannot be clearly identified as such. Artists and writers argue that generative AI tools are effectively copyright laundering devices, ingesting their creative works and producing new content that imitates the originals without proper credit or payment. In other words, AI algorithms can launder the expression of copyrighted works by internalizing them and spitting out original outputs that bypass traditional copyright claims. A lawsuit about derivative work can usually be judged by comparing the original to the new creation in a court of law. But with AI, when successive AI models ingest the outputs of their predecessors, they create a technological hall of mirrors where infringement can become both systemic and forensically inscrutable. Original copyrighted works can be buried deep within opaque training processes, and similarity to any single source can become stochastic and diffuse. The evidentiary thread connecting final output to the original input effectively snaps, leaving rights holders with a near insurmountable burden of proof. So let's break it down. Let's say you write a song, and an AI company scrapes your song to train its AI, and then someone uses Suno to have AI compose a song that has some elements from your song. And then AI scrapes that song, the new song it just created, and someone uses Suno to create a new song that still has the elements of your copyrighted song, and on, and layer after layer. And even if the AI company removes your original song from training, AI has been training on the songs it already created. Elon Musk says models have already run out of human-created data and have turned to AI-generated information to teach itself. Courts relying on side-by-side comparison can be left with no discernible artifact to analyze, and no principled way to distinguish a coincidental echo from an original, yet laundered copy. This can create an evidentiary blind spot, fostering conditions ripe for what can be termed copyright laundering. Also remember that an AI-generated song isn't copyrightable. So to be able to copyright the new AI songs that were created by laundering, the songs are humanized. Techniques include deliberately editing or humanizing AI-generated content just enough for it to pass as human-made, so it qualifies for copyright registration and royalty collection despite its AI origins and use of pre-existing material. AI-generated tracks are humanized with timing edits, analog processing, metadata stripping, even having real musicians replay the parts. And then they are registered as original compositions and bypass AI detection. And AI will keep absorbing the synthetic material, creating multiple layers of songs, all originating from your song. And there is no way to distinguish a coincidental echo from an original, yet laundered copy. And there is nothing you can do about it. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, please follow me, like, do all those things. Bye.